section coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the fast point of view. What we know, so let's go.
But for real shit. We got 10. It's king.
Let's go. I cannot fuck with you lanes. You pussy be strange. You is not the bro. I just be staying my lane. I'm doing my thing. You already know how it go. I just be smoking.
What up, KD?
I feel like I feel like a crow. I just be going insane. Try to keep my same. So I cannot fuck with no hoes. Blue season and stay out the mix. I'm trying to survive the way. So money I save. I cannot wait till I get rich. I feel like I'm stuck in the maze. Cause I can have pace. And had no one come to a bitch. All of the money I'm facing. You feel amazing. Remember I came from a big. It feel amazing. Smoking this gas, smoke drinking this cut got me faded. Taking pictures made me sick. Wearing designer, you know that I'm rocking the latest. I got no expensive fit. I just been ignoring all my problems lately. I got some rocks you can keep. Fucking this bitch from the back. Since I have my baby, I can't have your kid. Beat on the pussy attack. I know when it's fat. I know what it is. Young nigga love with the rest. I'm trying to get the stacks. I paid attention to the bed. Niggas be pussy like cats. And most of the rats. Don't see some shit I can get weak. Let's go. I cannot fuck with you lames. You pussy be strange.
Yeah. Had to get the fake ones up out of here real quick, you know what I mean? What up, Katie? What up? You always here if ain't nobody else here in the building. What up, everybody that's tuning in right now? You just tuned in to the fans' point of view, man, with your host, Trucker Chubby, a.k.a. Clarence Hampton III. You know what I'm saying? You dig? Man, so my man's and my guy, I don't know, man. I ain't hit him up. So I'm not sure what may be going on or what may not be going on or whatever, but I'm gonna try to get my man's back on here. I gotta get my man Shad back on here. Shout out to Shad, man. Shout out to Shad, man, for real, bro. If you tuning in, bro. No homo, bro. No pause. I miss you, bro. I miss my dog. Damn, I miss my dog. Up on this internet talking about these sports and shit. Damn, I miss my dog. But what up? So, you know what I mean? I'm starting off with Coach Prime's contract because first of all, I want to talk about it. I've been missing MIA. Shout out to my Rawhide family too, man. Yo, man, I got a late start with the week. I didn't even let y'all know. Monday, I was out of commission. I was out of commission on Monday. I don't know if I had a food poisoning or was it just a 24-hour GI bug. GI bug is like it's gastrointestines. So that's all with your stomach and shit. You know what I mean? And I just had it bad. I couldn't even move. Like my body was shaking. I had the chills. I'm like, damn, like I was like, you know what I mean? I was fucked up. And then it was worse because I know I needed to throw up, but the shit wasn't coming up. You know what I mean? I'm like dry heaving and shit. That's when you throw up, you go through the whole motion and nothing comes up. So I had to like force myself and I drink a lot of, hydrating drinks and shit. So I had to drink a lot of fluids. You know, I had to force myself to keep drinking water and keep drinking a Gatorade and Body Armor, just chugging that shit. You know what I mean? I had to force it. And then finally, you know what I mean? I don't know. I took a nap. I got up probably like a little bit Monday night and it just all came up like Tracy Morgan at the Knicks game type, just all on the side of my truck. I couldn't even get out my truck. It was horrible. It was bad. So I got a late start with the week. So I had to drive just yesterday. I just got home off the road yesterday. You know what I mean? Normally I'm back Friday nights, you know what I'm saying? And but shit, I just got back yesterday evening to be exact, and I gotta go back out tomorrow morning. That's crazy, ain't it? That's just the way it is out here, man. Because I'm saying that's just the way it be. But yeah, Russ is gone. I'm gonna get up into the Stiller talk here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? This definitely on the rundown. The Stiller talk is definitely on the rundown. I'm gonna get up into that a little bit. There's a few things about the Steelers actually I'm gonna get into, but we got Coach Prime's contract. We're gonna talk about a little bit with that. We're going to talk a little bit of NCAA women's tournament basketball. Some of the stars that's showing up, they already been there, but I got something to point out to y'all about Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecock team that some of y'all may be aware of, but some people may not be aware of. So I'm gonna drop that on y'all. And like I said, Coach Prime's contract, Cam Scatterboo, he ran his 40 times. So we'll get to talking about Cam Scatterboo, whether he's more sought after or not, and why isn't he? You know what I mean? I get why some people are not a huge fan of Cam Scatterboo, but he's caught out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into talking about him. And some college football, just some draft picks and some of the quarterbacks and some of the quarterbacks that the Pittsburgh Steelers might be trying to get after. So there's a lot with Steelers talk today. So y'all make sure y'all stick around for that. We got that up on the slate. But yo, like, what the hell is going on? I get a phone call in the middle of the damn. I gotta hold up. Let me hold on. Excuse me. Make sure that I put my shit on do not disturb and whatnot. Damn, how the hell I do that? All right. She probably don't even know I'm recording. She probably don't even know I'm recording right now. I'm live right now. And you said, yeah, Prime earned that bag. For sure. Coach Prime definitely earned that bag, man. He's 13-2 in his whole, you know what I'm saying, conference or whatever. Hold on, man. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm live right now, Rika. Yeah, I'm live recording. I'll call you when I'm done. All right. Yeah, that was my sister. She just had a newborn. Shout out to her. You know what I mean? But look, it's 13-2 overall. This is a hood show sometimes. You know what I mean? That's just how I roll. But he's 13-2 and 12. I'm sorry, 13-12. I said to keep saying 2, 13-12 overall. And Coach Prime, and if Kentucky's coach could get paid, why couldn't Coach Prime get paid? That's the way I was looking at it from the whole time. I was saying 10 million. I think it averages out to be like $10.8 million of what Coach Prime got paid. And I'm on board with that. You know what I'm saying? Because he has done so much. Now, I know to some people, it may not have been saying that everything that's off the field, but that's everything that has to do with it. And that's the way that Rick George was looking at it. You know what I mean? That's exactly the way Rick George was looking at it when he, the athletic director at Colorado, went to go talk to the university's president and so forth and so on. Like, Coach Prime has brought a lot of things there. You know what I mean? So the 25 games that he played there, 10 out of the 12 games at Folsom Field during the 20, you know what I'm saying? Sold out. He's been selling out, you know what I'm saying, all the games. So CU has been on national TV for ESPN 21 out of the 25 games. The last 2 years, they drew 54 million views during the 2024 season. 54 million viewers in the 2024 season. So they got 8 million just in the Alamo Bowl. That probably was the highest ranking in the event's history, period. You know what I'm saying? So people want to watch Coach Prime. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get where he's saying, like, we don't support him. Like, just because sometimes we have critiques to say, and when people are, you know what I mean? Sometimes when people are critiquing, we're still watching regardless. People are watching. So that's support, if you ask me. You know what I mean? But under Coach Prime, see you the social media, it just skyrocketed, right? They went from like 63,000 on social media to like 1.1 million. That the X account is just went way over the top. You know what I mean? Their X account almost got 300,000 to where they was barely breaking 100,000 as the college football program. So, and all this goes into account nowadays. We have to remember this is not 1990. This ain't 1980s. You know what I'm saying? When computers just broke out. This is now. All this goes into account when they're paying coaches. You have to account for all of this, not including the social media, the national exposure. Let's talk about in the past 2 years, the millions of dollars that just impacted the Colorado scene alone. So when you talk about all that goes into account, right? And then I'm not done. The merchandise, you know what I mean? The academic performance, and that is huge. When the university president gets involved, what they want to look at is the numbers. Okay, a lot of black people don't live in Boulder, Colorado, right? Granted, that's cool. They like, all right, I got that. So it was they had a 20% application increase since he's been there. So it was, and then 18% of that was from out of state applications. That's huge when you're looking at college and enrollees, right? That's huge, right? And then on top of that, to keep going with that, 50.5% of their enrollees are Black or African Americans. And the applications that came in from prospective students and that identify as a non-white student, it increased 29.3%. So the University of Colorado has became much more diverse since Coach Prime has gotten there. The enrolled students, the magnetic pull of the school, all the social media and everything, the numbers that the football program is getting. Hell, Colorado may be even looking at adding a damn baseball program to what Coach Prime is doing up there right now. You know what I mean? She said Prime's making money for the entire Boulder community. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that, Katie. Prime is the golden goose everywhere he goes. Yeah, he brings a lot in, and the economic impact I think was like at between 18 and 20 million dollars for like local businesses during football season, the hotels, the restaurants, the shop that sells CU gear or Colorado Buffaloes gear that isn't like that's original. You know what I mean? The original gear that you might not get on campus, and sometimes that's the stuff you want. You know what I mean? I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. When I go to Pittsburgh and I go get my Steeler gear, I want to go on the South Side. Why? Because you're going to see when you go on the Strip District. I'm sorry, not the South Side, but the Strip District. The South Side has a shop too down there. Shout out to them. They got a shop down on the South Side too. But the Strip District, you can go down there and get to a nice restaurant, eat, shop, and get you some Steeler gear. And they got some Steeler gear that you never seen. You know what I'm saying? Like that nobody probably have where you live at. So if you want some custom made Steelers gear or some hot shit, you definitely go down to the Strip District in Pittsburgh, and you gonna find some Steelers gear that's everywhere. You know what I mean? People got it. They make their own Steelers stuff. I've seen women's scarves, purses. I've seen all kinds of shoes, that custom made shoes, Nikes that they don't have, that people make because the Steelers go hard. But that's where you grab all that stuff from. Just to, you know what I mean? I know I'm just bringing it up that I'm sure they got some place like that in Colorado that makes Buffalo gear, and that helps them businesses too. Them small mom and pop shops and stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of businesses is getting help there. But nonetheless, though, I just wanted to open up with that and get my input on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like I said, I've been missing, and I know people probably been waiting to hear what I had to say about that. I'm happy that he got paid. Now that he got paid, let's see what happens, and where he can, and where does he go from here? You know what I mean? Where does this program move up, and does his extension mean that he's not going nowhere? Because Rick George wants to keep him. he definitely wants to keep Prime there because if I'm not mistaken, I just read something. I think it was just yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was reading something about Coach Prime, Brian Kelly. If Brian Kelly don't get it together at LSU, they'll be probably looking at Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime, he's he's a magnet. He's a pull, man. You know, LSU used to be talked about a lot. You know, it's huge down there. That's a big brand of football in Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana. And could they benefit from having a Coach Prime down there? Absolutely. But I think if he was to go anywhere and leave Colorado, I think it would be Florida State. You know what I mean? Mike Norvell, if he don't get it together, I think that they would probably want to bring in Coach Prime from, Boulder to Florida State, if anything, because Florida and then Florida State, they on the cusp of getting up, trying to maybe getting out of the ACC right now. Things ain't looking too bright for the ACC. They got to put together a good season, and having Bill Belichick in the ACC right now, I think is really good for the ACC because if you can't get a magnet pool like Coach Prime, you got to get some good coaching in there to make your team competitive. Because I do believe that, and I agree with Raw when he said this, and he said it first, and I just want to give credit to him. You know what I mean? I just didn't get a chance to come out saying it, but I do agree that these schools all do not want to win. Every college does not want to win in football. They just want a competitive team, make a bowl game, graduate students, and you know, and get maybe have a couple of NFL players, but they want to have a competitive team. And you can do that with coaching. And you can look at that the way that the NCAA tournament in basketball is going. You know what I mean? Some of these teams are stacked with talent, but then you see teams that has big coaching lose. You know what I mean? What up, Bishop? Big salute, fam. Salute. Like where was I? Yeah. You see the coaching take over the brand sometimes, and the talent, and coaching wins over talent sometimes in the NCAA, whether you're looking at basketball or football. But when you definitely look at this basketball tournament, especially on the men's side, the X's and O's takes over sometimes, but then talent sometimes just takes over and you can't do nothing about that. Like you just can't do nothing about that. But the X's and O's, like I think that TCU is a well-coached team, and I'll get to talking about the women here in a second, but TCU's women's basketball team is a very well-coached basketball program. They had no business beating Notre Dame. They got one. I mean, Haley Van Lith, she's been balling this year. She's came into her own. She's a lot more comfortable with TCU. I don't know if the lights was too bright for her down there at LSU playing with Angel Reese or not, but she was definitely not the same player. But that year she spent with Kim Mulkey, she needed that, and she went down there to TCU, and she's playing like how she was playing at Louisville. You know what I mean? She's bounced back. Haley Van Lith's stock has rose a whole lot. And I'll get to talking about that in here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second to jump on that, but I'll definitely get to talking about that. I think that she jumped up and her stock definitely rose up. Yeah, so moving on to the next subject, man. Coach Prime, I'm done with Coach Prime. Cam Scatterboo. See, Cam Scatterboo, so he just recently ran his 40-yard dash, and according to some of the NFL scouts, he ran a 4.62, and they said that was to be expected. There was a lot of linebackers who ran faster than him. But the motherfucker's he's like a linebacker in the backfield. Let's just keep it real. Now, he did play a Texas team, and he played that Texas team tough. This is a Texas team that has some big players, some big name players, and he played them really tough. Cam Scatterboo gave them everything that they can ask for. There was other help that they had there, but if you asked me, I like Cam Scatterboo. I do. I like him. Do I like him to go to my team? I don't know. I wouldn't be mad if they chose him. He's a big back. He caught out the backfield just how everybody else did. He's displayed that. He's displayed excellent vision when running the ball. Yards after contact, everything you ask they running back to do in the pros to be successful, Cam Scatterboo has done. So I don't know why there's a big disparity with Cam Scatterboo. Now, see, I don't know if this would be me being a micro thinker or what, You know what I'm saying? In a micro state of mind, I should say, because I'm not a micro thinker, but you know what I'm saying? Being in a micro state of mind or micro state of thinking, that is it because he's a white boy and he's running a ball that he's not taken seriously? Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Ollie Gordon run somewhere like that, like a 4.6, 4.7 or some shit? Now I get it. Ollie Gordon's what, a whole couple inches taller than him. But Cam Scottaboo has showed that he is ready to throw on the pads in a pro setting and to be a contributor to the offense in the running back position. Like, and now I hate coming, like, I got to defend the man because I seen him taking some slack about that. And I'm like, I don't know. Cam Scottaboo he was one of the best running backs in the country last year. He displayed that. He's shown that, and he's done everything you asked for, and every trait that you asked for a NFL running back to have, he has, besides the speed. But his game speed is different than what his 40 time was. Now, he could put on some gym shorts and a tight ass shirt or no shirt and run a 40, and that's not going to break away from Patrick Queen when he's getting hit in your ass. That's not going to be able to run out of a grasp of Cam Hayward. You know what I mean? You're not, you know what I'm saying? Like when that 40 time may not help you when Myles Garrett is cutting that corner off on your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but strength will. And that's all I really had to say about Cam Scatterbull. I just wanted to bring that up because he just recently came out with his 40 time and he's run it and he's had private workouts with some teams. So, and I had to bring that up and I had to talk about that. You said it takes a special type breed of player to play for Kim Mulkey and Dawn Staley. They have to be mentally tough. I definitely like that. You said Brashard Smith is your sleeper running back. I think Brashard Smith, he does a lot too. He displayed a lot too from SMU. He's shown that he can do everything too. The running back position in this year's draft is a gold mine. It's a gold rush. Everybody's striking gold with these running backs. I don't think that there's no slight in running backs. And it all depends on kind of who you want. I mean, you look at all the Big 12 running backs, all those guys can be productive in the NFL. If you ask me, Devin Neal, Giddens, Taj Brooks, Ollie Gordon, Cam Scatterbull, that's the Big 12. We're not even talking about the ACC running backs, Brashard Smith, Bashul Tootin, Damian Martinez. You know what I'm saying? Like now, those are the weaker, air quote, weaker conferences in college football, right? And you look at the Big Ten, you start getting to look at the Big Ten running backs and the SEC running backs, and you start going, oh my God, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? So if we're talking about the Big 12 and the ACC running backs looking really good, we ain't even really start talking about the Big 10 running backs like Quinshawn Junkins, you know what I'm saying? Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson. Like, what are we like? There is so many good running backs in this year's draft. It's a gold rush. It's a gold mine. Shout out to the SEC running backs, Jarquez Hunter. Like, you know what I mean? These guys are out there and they are, and they're deep. This running back class is deep. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can go wrong with a back. I just don't think so. I don't think you can go wrong with these backs. But, and they're good. These backs are good. That may be the best, the deepest in this 2025 class. That may be the best position in this whole entire class is the running back position. And not only we see that with the workouts and at the combine in their 40 times, but we seen what these guys can do on the field. These guys that I just named are all 1,000-yard rushers for multiple seasons. You know what I mean? Like we not talking about, you know, and I just named 15 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we looking at there at the running back position. You know, they're coming in ready. That's running back class is I think they're going to come in ready. And I also, and that's in my opinion, I think that's what we looking back at Two, when you look at these quarterbacks, 4 of these quarterbacks that's coming into this 2025 class, I think is going to be successful in the NFL. I do. I believe that, and I'm going to stand on that. I've been saying that from day one. Why there's a lot of people saying this quarterback class ain't deep, this quarterback class ain't good. I beg to differ. I think that this quarterback class of this year in 2025 there's going to be 4 quarterbacks that's going to come out this class, and that's going to be set and established as a franchise quarterback in the NFL. Now, there's a couple of different names. I don't know which ones it's going to be, but I could probably give you about maybe a good 6 that I think that out of the 4, I for sure think Cam Newton and Shador Sanders is going to be successful out of this class. Those 2 of them. And the other ones vary to me. Kyle McCord, you know what I mean? Kyle McCord, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, who else? See, Donovan Smith got the size from the Big 12 from Houston, and he's undesirable. He threw a lot of interceptions. His decision making was horrible, but he has the NFL size and his athletic ability too. See, and so there's a lot of quarterbacks in this class that could be successful too. So no doubt 4 of them will be looked back in a couple of years. You'd be like, okay, yeah, they took over. They did their thing straight up. Yeah, Jackson Dart, he just went on a visit with the Pittsburgh Steelers too. Jackson Dart did, by the way. Jackson Dart just went on a visit, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. So these are the quarterbacks of the future. And as you see on your screen, so for starting from top left, going to top right, bottom left, bottom right, so top left, Arch Manning with Texas, right? Arch Manning is coming in, and he's expected to do a great job. He's expected to be that way. He's waited his turn. He's played behind Quinn Ewers. Regardless of what you want to say about Quinn Ewers at the NFL level and what he's going to do, he's also going to the NFL. We don't know what he might do. We don't know what he won't do. But we do know that Archie Manning is ready. He sat patiently to take over this Texas Longhorns football team. I like the way he's played. And to be honest, the thing I like about Archie the most is his athletic ability. And it's been on display a couple of times. I did not know he was that athletic. I think that puts him a step above already of his uncle and maybe his father, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I think that puts him a step above them already, his athletic ability, because I don't think that Peyton or I don't think either one of them showed that they had athletic ability, and Arch has displayed that. And I think that's something that when you add that to the decision making in the arm, that is going to make Arch one of the best quarterbacks coming up next season. DJ Lagway with the Florida Gators. We've seen what DJ Lagway could do. He took over towards the end of the season. No doubt, I think he got all the tools to be the best and to be one of the best in the country. Their schedule is tough during the SEC. I think that experience is going to help him grow so much. I don't see really what was going on besides him being a little young in his decision making. And I think as time goes on with DJ Lagway, he'll get that decision making down pat, but he can make all the throws. And I think that's what makes him so ready, and why a lot of people got them on his list as being one of the best quarterbacks going into next college football season. Pat Nussmeier, right? Garrett Nussmeier with LSU with Brian Kelly. I think he's fired. I thought that maybe some people thought that maybe he could come out this year. You know what I mean? And I don't think that that's no slight. I think that's a compliment, saying that he probably could have came out this year. So him coming back, I think, automatically catapults him at the top of the list. He was one of the best passers in the country this year alone. This year alone, he was already one of the best passers in the country. So looking at if he's able to go ahead and do what he did last year, he's already levels above. Now, Penn State's backup quarterback, Bo Pibula, I can't pronounce. I don't know if that's pronounced it. He's moved on to Missouri. Athletic, he can spin it a little bit, but it's athletic. He's way more athletic than Drew Aller. But Drew Aller got the size. He got the arm. Now, the thing I didn't get with Drew Aller was when the lights got bright, can he handle the pressure? can Drew Aller get Penn State and take Penn State further than where the hell he was at? We seen what he was able to do with Tyler Warren, but Tyler Warren was just an athletic freak, right? And now Tyler Warren has moved on. So now we really gonna see what Drew Aller is all about. I don't see why people's not a big fan of Drew Aller. I mean, his athletic ability, he's athletic enough at quarterback that he's 6'5", big boy. But my knock on him is, can he handle the pressure? I don't know if he can. I just don't know if he can handle that. I don't think that they would have had one-on-one game when he was hurt. Bro Pibula showed that he can handle it. And I think Missouri seen that and they said, damn, if he's in a transfer portal, we better grab him up. He can handle the pressure. He just plays ball. But I don't know if Drew Aller can. There's a lot of pressure that's already been put on him ever since he stepped foot on Penn State's campus, though. It's for the people who may not know about the Nittany Lions. Him coming out of high school and going up to Nittany Lions, he already had a ton of pressure on him from the door going up there. So I know he can handle some of it, but I'm talking about game-wise, not the off-the-field stuff. You know what I mean? In game, can he handle and bounce back from making a bad decision? Because he wasn't able to. You know, I think he turned the ball over late in a game, and that caused them a game, right? So we'll see what's up with that. Tyler Shuck might be a good fit in Pittsburgh. Tyler Shuck. Yep, I'll get to talking about that. I get to definitely Dolphins need a QB. Tua isn't it? I'm sick of Tua. I don't know why. He may not be it. He may not be it down there. He's been banged up a whole lot, man. Like they got to get that man a break, man. He's been banged up to so much. Tua Tagovailoa has been banged up so damn much. All them concussions and the stuff he sacrificed, but he got a hell of an arm. He can make the throws. The Dolphins, it may be not it for him. The Dolphins may not be the NFL team for Tua. I feel you on that. He may need to go somewhere else to be successful if he's going to continue to play, because there's just something there in Miami. He just can't get over that hump. And they put the weapons around him. He got two of the fastest receivers in the NFL, Jalen Waddell, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is just one of the best, despite what he does off the field. Tyreek Hill is one of the best receivers. He can do it all. Tyreek Hill can do it all. He can be a possession receiver, take the top off if he wants to. He knows how to sit in the zone. There is four people, and sitting in quarter coverage watching Tyreek Hill. They make sure they take off a hat that cut the football field in half when Tyreek Hill is on there. So they got the linebacker underneath him. They might even fucking put the defensive end in the flats. You know what I mean? Like, and I ain't fronting. I've seen it. I've seen them sit the corner in the flats, had the safety over top and the middle and a linebacker underneath him. When Tyreek Hill catches a ball, that's why when he catches it, there'll be 3-4 people around him every time he catches the ball. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've seen it happen. But, yo, the women and the NCAA. So, top left, Mwasia Fulwiley with the South Carolina Gamecocks. Top right, that's Lauren Betts with UCLA. Bottom left, that is Anisha Morrow with the LSU Tigers. Bottom right, that is Paige Buckner with the UConn Lady Huskies. Right? Look, so starting off with Fulwiley. I don't know if y'all maybe not knowing about what's been going on with the South Carolina Gamecocks and Dawn Staley, right? Fulwiley has been playing her ass off since the SEC tournament. She's been playing her ass off. And look, I put together something real quick. And I you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to share this with y'all because she's been getting so busy. She's been getting so damn busy on the court. But Raven Johnson is getting more minutes. But Raven Johnson has not been as productive as Mwasia Fulwiley. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's strategy. Because you still got Chloe Kitts. You still got others on the court with, you know what I'm saying, with Raven Johnson. So to get production out of the bench, that may be why Malaysia Fulwiley is coming off the bench, but she still be starting if you asked me. And here's why. So starting off in the Vandy game in the SEC tournament before the NCAA tournament, Malaysia Fulwiley, she played 22 minutes in that game. She had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists in that game alone. And then when you go to look at what Raven Johnson did versus Vandy in her 14 minutes, she had 2 points, 1 rebound, and no assist. So let's just jump to in the Oklahoma game. Same difference. Raven Johnson had, and this is the SEC tournament before the NCAA tournament. Let me make that clear. Raven Johnson had 2.6 rebounds, 5 assists. Moesha Fulwiley had 19 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Raven Johnson played 28 minutes in that game. So, and Moesha Fulwiley only played 21 minutes in that game. So basically where I'm getting at, and if you look at the tournament, Moesha Fulwiley versus Tennessee Tech, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 19 minutes. They both played 19 minutes versus Tennessee Tech. Raven Johnson had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Versus Indiana, neither one of them really played a good game. Moesha Fulwiley only played 10 minutes in that game, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Raven Johnson had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. 28 minutes Raven Johnson played in that game. Versus Maryland, Moesha Fulwiley played 21 minutes, had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And Raven Johnson had 3 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and she played 29 minutes. So she's getting minutes. Raven Johnson is getting her minutes. Her defense is, I don't know if it's better than Moesha Fulwiley. Moesha Fulwiley could go everywhere on the court. But like I said, maybe this is a strategy of Dawn Staley's and putting her out there and getting a way to get production out of the bench, right, during the game. Because you need your bench to be productive also, especially in the tournament, right? But when it comes to playoff tournament type basketball, what are they playing? Are they playing, you know what I mean? In college, I know they're playing a full bench, you know. Sometimes in the NBA and the playoffs, you know, it's a little different. They get to playing 7, 8 guys in a game. Sometimes, depending on what type of game it may be, you know, some of your star players might not come out. They only may sub 3 positions. So maybe 8 players play in a certain game. You know what I mean? Y'all get where I'm going at with that, right? But Moesha Fulwiley has been a lot more productive than Raven Johnson throughout this NCAA tournament. And that may hurt them. So how do you beat South Carolina? Fulwiley, she ain't the only reason. But if you can't do that, if you can't guard Fulwiley, then you ain't got no chance of even fucking with them. But Moesha Fulwiley is one of the best guards in the country, if you ask me, coming off the bench. She's one of the best. And next year's going to be a year. So you say trucking. Staley puts players on the floor that match up best with the opposing players. I get what you're saying with that, right? But Fulwiley has not started in none of these games. And that's why I pointed that out, Katie. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying that she's you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I think there's a strategy to what Dawn Staley's doing, because I've done the same thing, even though it was just little league basketball or whatever, but I've done the same thing. I kept my best player out and I pulled them off the bench for a reason, to get production out of my bench. So I get it. I definitely understand why she may be doing that. You know what I mean? And I get it, because maybe Moesha Fulwiley does not play well with the starting 5, or she'll get lost in the sauce. And it's just like, all right, when Moesha's on the court with the bench, go out there and take over the game. You know what I mean? Go out there and take over. Just go out there, do you take over the game? Give me a good 19 minutes per game. You know, you only got a couple minutes. Go out there, get me, you know what I'm saying, 7 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds in 7 minutes. Go make it happen. Because she's doing just that. You know what I mean? So that could be very well. I'm not quite like what's going on, but I'm definitely going to point out that throughout this tournament, Raven Johnson has not shown up, and her slack has been picked up by Mawasia Fulwiley. And naturally, that's how you get demoted in your position on the basketball court. That's how you lose minutes. You know what I'm saying? Is by not being productive. Now, in this Duke game, Mawasia might start, but keep it the way it's been because Raven is due for a big game. She has not had one yet throughout this tournament. I've read y'all her stats, but she can play. She's a McDonald's All-American. That team is full of them. The starting five and the bench is full of McDonald's All-Americans. That's why they're a heavy favorite to win. In a lot of people's eyes. And by the way, they did win. Now, it's keeping in with the women. I picked Notre Dame was my favorite to win on the women's side. I thought they had a chance. I really thought they did. I was wrong. TCU in my eyes had no business beating. They had no business beating Notre Dame. That was a total letdown. That was a total letdown of a team. They let one player beat them. And I thought they had the toughness down low with Maddie Westbeld. Maddie Westbeld did not answer the call. They had no answer in the paint. And that's what killed them. That's what killed them. They had no answer in the paint. But I thought, with the team they had, I thought for sure they was going to run it, but they just couldn't get past TCU. Big ups to TCU. And that team is full of veterans. And sometimes, that's what I said, X's and O's and coaching sometimes prevails over talent. Notre Dame is by far one of the more talented teams on the women's side. TCU, in my eyes, they didn't have the talent to match with Notre Dame at all. But they coached. And when you think about their team and the way that their team is put together, the TCU women, like, they're all veterans. They're all veteran. They've been there. Some have made to the Elite Eight. Haley Van Lift's been 4 or 5 Sweet 16s. You know what I'm saying? Every year she's been in the Sweet 16. She got that. She knows what it takes for playoff basketball to one and done. And everybody on that team that they put together, together a hell of a team at TCU. Don't know if he'll keep it up, but they did. And look, they're advancing. Will they beat Texas? I don't think so. I don't think so, but you may not, you never know. That is an older team who knows what it takes to win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You don't know. It should be Texas. I didn't think they had no chance of being on the floor with Notre Dame. So we'll see what they do versus Texas. But Texas is a very tough team. They will challenge them. And Notre Dame just tried to finesse too much, if you ask me. They didn't play them tough enough. If the Gamecocks win it all, who remember who told you so? I get it, Katie. Look, I get it. And the thing is, with the Gamecocks, it's not that I don't think they're going to win it, right? Dawn Staley's an automatic favorite. I'm just trying to put the other teams out there and let people know that everybody can be beat. Notre Dame, South Carolina got the floor wiped with them earlier in the year by UCLA. They wiped the floor with that team, made it look very easy in doing so. And not having Ashton Hawkins, I don't think they've ran into anybody who exposed that yet besides Indiana. Indiana played them tough. Maryland played them tough. But they just don't have Maryland or Indiana don't have the talent. They played Tennessee Tech, Indiana, and Maryland. That's who they played. That's who South Carolina played. UCLA has played nobody to me yet, neither. I can't remember who they played in the first round, but they played Richmond in the second round. They ain't played nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but all of the remaining teams in the women's side, they all could beat each other. They all could beat each other. There's not one of those teams who cannot beat the other team. So it's up for grabs from here. But if you ask me who's looking the best right now, it gotta be UConn and Paige Buckner's and them. They gotta be them. It gotta be them. UConn is just looking unstoppable. They are beating their opponents by what they're supposed to be beating their opponents by. They've covered every spread. And I know this ain't really that big or huge, but they've covered every point spread that there's been out there. UCLA is about to play LSU. Yes, they are. They're about to play. Yes, they are. And I'm huge on them. But Lauren Betts, UCLA, Lauren Betts is that team. She's that team, period, point blank. The last two games had 30 points, double-digit rebounds. That's their team right there. You stop Lauren Betts, you give her a hard day, tire her out. That's it. That's it with them. That is it. And I believe Anisha Morrow and Samaya Smith is going to be up for that challenge because Samaya Smith and Anisha Morrow, they're probably going to pull out Jersey Wolfenbarger on her too. They're going to throw a little Jersey Wolfenbarger at her. So there's multiple people that Kim Mulkey is going to use to try to tire out Lauren Betts. She's had a tall player before. You know what I mean? Like Camila Cardozo, 6'7", was unstoppable with Dawn Staley. And that Lauren Betts is this year's Camila Cardozo. She is just, you know what I mean? And she's an okay free throw shooter. She's not bad. You know what I mean? She's had some bad games, but if you look at the games that they've lost, Oregon played them very tough. Michigan played them very tough in the regular season. You need to go back and watch that because how they played Lauren Betts was like, you're not getting anything. You're not going to stop her from getting a rebound. She's just too tall for that. You know what I mean? She's just too damn tall for that. She damn near grabbing the ball off the rim, you know, without jumping. But you could play her tough her up. And that's what you got to do. And I think Kim Mulkey's team is going to be up for the challenge. But Anisha Morrow is shorter. Yeah, she's only 6'1", but she got bunnies, she got skill, and it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. And that's not forget about Michaela Williams with the shooting down there at LSU. She's a sniper. She rarely misses. Her mid-range game is off the chain. And they got some shooters out there. And now it's up what LSU gonna do. If LSU don't take care of the damn ball, the UCLA gonna beat them. Because they always letting somebody back in the game. That's how NC State got back in the damn game. Turnovers. They LSU will get up by 15 points and then let the whole league up in fucking 3 minutes. I've seen it done. They can't do that versus UCLA. They got to stay on them. But and Paige Buckner's UConn, man, they different. UConn just different, man. They just different. They are from here on out. And I don't know if anybody could be. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because they got every position on lock and every last one of their positions on UConn. Those women are all athletic. They are all athletic in every position that's on the court. Y'all seen them play. It's tournament time. But I've been seeing what these ladies can do. So shout out to the ladies, NCAA women's basketball. I think I'm done with that one. Pointed out a few things for y'all. Talked about it. Shout out to the ladies out there, man. Steeler talk. Yes. So there's been talks about my Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson's gone. He's gone. He's moved on to the New York Giants. Not mad about that. Not mad at all about that. He just didn't show he had it in the last 5 games as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I wish him and his family well on their endeavors and future endeavors and moving on to a bigger city and everything like that. And I hope that he, finds a a position or something, because he only got a couple years left. And I hope that he could be a great mentor to a rookie quarterback that they may be going after, right? But he definitely need to save Dayball's job. I just don't know. Russ Russ will do okay there. Malik Neighbors is a hell of a receiver. I think Russ will do okay there. George Pickens been talking about being on the trading block, right? He has been. Now, I don't really. Higgins from Iowa is sought out to be his replacement. I don't know if that works. I don't know if that works if we trade Pickens and then grab Higgins. Pickens' contract is up next year, and will we pay him, seeing that we just paid DK Metcalf? I think so, but he's going to want a max contract. He's young. He's going to want top dollar probably, especially if he produces. Now, this year he didn't get over 1,000, but that's not to say that he won't get over 1,000 this year with DK being there and him not being, you know what I'm saying, the primary receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the number one receiver. But I kind of, and it's to get back in the second round. To get back in the second round of the draft for George Pickens, to me, I think is like, it's like, I don't know. Nah, I mean, can Higgins from Iowa State really come in and fill what George Pickens is doing? They saying that he can't, but Pickens already got the NFL experience. I don't know. So I'll leave that choice up to y'all, Steelers fans out there that may be watching. I'll leave that choice up to y'all and what y'all think about that decision. Because it's tough. It's tough. I've grown attached to George Pickens, to being up there in the bird, and the way he's playing. I think that, you know, what DK there is just going to be a even greater. So, and to take a crapshoot and to roll the dice on, you know, a rookie receiver coming in for that same production is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I don't know if we could, you know, if we can get the same production out of a rookie, you know. So I agree, Katie. Let's keep Pickens in Pittsburgh. Let's not talk about trading him to get back in the second round. We gave our rookie receiver up to get DK Metcalf. That was a hell of a choice. That was a hell of a choice, by the way. That was a hell of a choice, Omar. Hell of a choice. We love it. And I don't regret it at all. I would take DK Metcalf over any one of these rookie receivers right now. Hands down. Hands down. Any receiver coming out of this year's draft, I would take DK Metcalf over in a heartbeat. You'd be stupid not to, right? So there's also been talk about TJ Watt. TJ Watt's contract is also up next year. Steeler fans that's out there, and there's been talks about trading him to the Tennessee Titans. Has showed some interest in TJ Watt, asking the Steelers, what do y'all want to do with TJ? His contract's up next year. We want to go after Abdul Carter, but they want to end, but there is something, and there's had to be some validity to that Abdul Carter surgery. He needs to have this surgery on that foot at some point, because that little hairline or that little problem with his foot that he may not or may know about can turn into something different. We ain't talking about college football where he's dominating, just running past or bullying, you know, a good, let's say, 90% of his opponents. We're talking the NFL where he's going to be matched up. Even if he does dominate, he's still going to be matched up over somebody who is also professional and is not going, and he's going to get their best, and he's going to have to bring his best. That foot is going, and there got to be something to that. I thought that there was before. I have not read anything on it, but injuries with football players, they usually like to keep these things under wrap. They usually like to keep these things out of the public's eye for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So really, we don't really know if that is a problem or not. But by the Tennessee Titans inquiring about TJ Watt, might be something, and they're willing to give up a first round pick for him. We would have to give up a package for him. I believe it was TJ. We want to give up our 21st overall pick, 2026 pick. I don't know if it was like a third round, a second round, something like that. And plus TJ Watt. So it's like 3 draft picks, 2 2026 picks, the 21st overall of this year, and TJ Watt to get the Titans number 1 overall pick of this year's draft. Now, if we did that, just say like this happened, and I'm TJ's just too beloved in Pittsburgh, right? But if that happened, who do we take at number 1? Who goes number 1 overall? They're saying that Cam Ward is the consensus number 1 overall. Now, he's loved to be out there and everything, but does that happen? Raw, hi, what up, bro? What up with it? What up? He says he's over 1 overall. But does that happen? You know what I'm saying? Dude, I don't know if we actually trade him or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we paid. Look, we gotta pay TJ, right? He's just one of the leaders on the defense. Cam Hayward will probably flip out like, bro, we not doing that, bro. We not trading him. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not happening. But who do we take? A quarterback? Because I think that's what we would do if we moved up in the draft. We would definitely want to take a quarterback. We're tired of not having a franchise quarterback, but giving up TJ would be too much for me. So who do we wait for? As a Steelers fan, who do we wait for? So I got a little slide. Which one of these quarterbacks that's on your screen right now, top left being Jackson Dart, top right, Jalen Milroe, bottom left, Shedeur Sanders, bottom right, Tyler Show. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, which one of these quarterbacks would you like to be our franchise quarterback? Me, myself, Jackson Dart has shown everything. His stock is rising because he can do everything. And he got the arm on top of it. Size is there, everything. Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a hell of a pro quarterback. I don't think you can miss taking Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders would take us over the top as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I honestly do. He's definitely athletic enough. His athletic ability is underrated because he does not look to run first, which makes him even more of a running threat, if you ask me, in some positions, in some ways. But do we have the offensive line for Shedeur Sanders in the pros? No, we don't. We just don't. You know what I mean? And we seen what he can do with a bad one, but we seen what he can do with a bad one though. So I think that may be a little bit makes it rise up again because we seen what Shedeur could do with a bad offensive line, right? Or with an okay one. But the pros is a lot different than college. Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe has all the throw. He can do everything. He's been some knock about his intermediate passing, but if you look up his intermediate passing, he completes 70% of his passes at the intermediate level, which is the range, 10 to 15 yards, something like that, 10 to 12, 10 to 13 yards. He's completing that at a 72%. Now, the plays that he's made and he's messed up on, yes, I get that. He's a hell of an athlete. Do I think he needs to be an Antoine Randall? Hell no. Jalen Milroe needs to be a quarterback. This is the same type of things they said about Lamar Jackson coming out. That this the same thing they say about all athletic quarterbacks who come out. They want them to switch positions because they're just freakish athletes at the quarterback position. But Jalen Milroe, I don't think you got to jump for a guy like him. Jackson Dart, Shador Sanders, I think you're going to have to trade up to get one of those guys in the draft. Tyler Shuck, he got the size. He's older coming in, more veteran, but does that translate over to the NFL? So the choice is up to us. But if we're looking at this, you ain't got to jump up for Tyler Shuck. I think he may be there around 21, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I think he may be there. But Jalen Milroe for sure will be there. I think even into the second or maybe even the third round, Jalen Milroe may be there. Even with running the 4-3. I think he'll still be there. Yes. So that's just my question to a lot of Steelers fans out there. What do y'all think? Which quarterback do you roll with? Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Shador Sanders, or Tyler Show? All right. Show Dart or McCourt, but Dart will have be off the board by your pick. I think so too, but I was huge on Jalen Milroe because I think that Jalen Milroe could do the same exact things that Justin Fields can do. I know. Hear me out. I think he can do the same exact things that Justin Fields can do. Now, Justin Fields has the NFL experience that Jalen Milroe does not have. Damn, they're same body type. I think they're both being compared to not being able to do some of the same things. They say accuracy issues with Jalen Milroe, right? He's throwing that air. He's not throwing at the game, but that's all fixable shit. That's all coachable shit. Everything with Milroe is coachable. And we seen him play his best. We seen him at his best, and we seen him at his worst. How in the hell could the quarterback, and I said this last week, the quarterback who beat the Georgia Bulldogs be looked at as being one of the worst quarterbacks in this year's draft? You dig? I don't get it. What's up, Raw? Come on up. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And the reason why I say that Jalen Milroe is like Justin Fields, right? When they was talking about the intermediate passing, right? Even when he was coming out at Ohio State, they were saying that was some of the same things, some of the same critiques that he was giving him. Now, granted, Justin had a better, more consistent college career than Jalen Milroe when he came out. But if Milroe does not lose some of those games, he's coming out as one of the top quarterbacks in this draft. Do we all agree with that? I think so. If Alabama wins 10 games, if they go to the college football playoffs, period, Jalen Milroe is one of the first quarterbacks taken off this year's draft. The fact that he didn't, and some of his flaws showed, but Alabama's offensive line was not the same. It just wasn't. In their defense, it just wasn't. Now, granted, they got some receivers over there, but we seen the pressure, especially the Tennessee game. James Pearson had a downfield day with that Alabama offensive line. Let's go back and watch it. They was back there in one Mississippi. They was back there quick in his lap. Even late in the Georgia game, they did that. But I think that I like he was in a new system too. He definitely was. He definitely was in a new system. Here's Rawhide. Rawhide's come up and join us. What up, bro? Rawhide, can you hear
Hey,
me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Can y'all hear him out there? Can y'all hear Rawhide? What's up, fam?
Oh man, I can't call it. No, just listening to you, man. I get, you know what I'm saying. You want your quarterback, huh?
It's
Can you
not
hear me?
that it's not that I don't want a quarterback. I want a good pick. I really don't want a quarterback raw, to be honest. Like, I'm cool with Mason Rudolph, and I'll explain that already.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Mason Rudolph for the year because he's respected in the locker room by the leaders that are there right now. You know what I mean? I think George Pickens, I think he played with him. He's played with a lot of us. He's been around. He's been in that locker room. Definitely Cam Hayward. He got Cam Hayward's a lot of respect for him. He know how to lead that team, and as long as he can play consistently good for more than 4 games, I think we'll be okay in that position. But and that gives us a chance to draft at the offensive line position, defensive line position, get better in the trenches where we need to be instead of chasing after these quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? But I think that like I said, I think that Jalen Milroe will slide to us and Tyler Shuck. I think one of those quarterbacks could slide to us. But I'm okay with Mason Rudolph being there, believe it or not.
You think so you want to pick what you say, Jalen Miro in the first round?
No, 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 no. No, no, no.
What you mean by slide? I don't know. Maybe
Jalen Milroe, I think we'll be able to get Jalen Milroe in like the
okay.
fourth.
Okay. Okay. All right then. Well, I'm gonna get some good with that. I ain't got no problem with that. Y'all already did that one time with Kenny Pickett. So
Right.
you want to stretch and reach for another potential franchise quarterback and waste it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Absolutely. No, I don't think that would be I don't think that would be a good decision to reach again at 21 for a quarterback at that early. I think that we can we got big play Slay. So that may get us for another year for the so that position may be taken care of. I think we gotta go. I've said this to you before, Walter Nolan. I think we got to go Walter Nolan, man. I think defensive line over offensive line. I say that because we've picked offensive linemen, but so if we got the choice, you the Pittsburgh Steelers GM, Rawhide. You the Pittsburgh Steelers GM. You're not a fan, so you're gonna answer this different than what I would, right? So you the Pittsburgh Steelers GM right now. You got the offensive lineman from Oregon. You got the offensive lineman from Texas still there, and you got Mike Green from Marshall, the sack leader, and Walter Nolan, all available on the board at 21. Who do you take?
Oh, um, I'm taking offensive lineman. I know y'all been doing that seem like every year anyway, but I'm taking an offensive lineman. I mean, I got to protect who back there because I don't like Mason Rudolph. Let me just be honest with you.
Mhm.
I think you might well go get Tyrod Taylor if you got Mason Rudolph, but uh, I don't necessarily. I think that if you can protect the person back there with the type of weapons you went and got DK, if you can protect the guy, then your quarterback don't have to be that good, and you'll be all right. So I'm drafting me an offensive lineman if I'm y'all.
I like that. I like that a lot. I actually like that a lot right there, Raw. I really do because I mean that make perfect sense. That's perfect sense. You protect whoever's back there. He ain't got to be good. You know what I'm saying? You damn near get a rookie, throw it up to DK. But if you ain't got no protection, then shit, he ain't really nothing. It's just crazy because a lot of our guys we've missed on that position and whiffed on that position for the past couple of years, and that makes me kind of nervous. And you know what I mean, that in my opinion, I'm just like we can't whiff on that position again. And offensive lineman is not. There are not that many good offensive linemen in this draft, neither. So, like, who's the top lineman to you in this year's draft? Like,
Man,
that might be available at 21.
I couldn't even tell you, brother. I couldn't tell you. I had to look it up, but I don't know. I don't know off the dome. But
Yeah,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm
but
saying. Like,
y'all ain't getting that anyway. So y'all gonna have to get about probably the third best offensive lineman at the pick y'all got.
right, right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so you can either get the third best offensive lineman or one of the best defensive line men in the country.
You think? Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's I think that's the decision. Like we bet because like we never that bad to get a good pick, but we ain't never that good to pick last. You know what I'm saying? These past couple years, so it's like frustrating. Now we like right there in the middle of the draft, especially at number 21, and then so we face with that type of decision right now. The third best offensive lineman in this year's draft is will he be able to get right on the field and be productive? You know what I mean? Because we're a team that's like almost right there. We're like right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what do we do? Especially, and I think that maybe what, you know, it might be a little ayahuasca on top of it, but the offensive line in Pittsburgh maybe was stopping Aaron Rodgers from getting there. Like, y'all need a damn offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing that y'all really could do there if y'all don't have that. So I agree with that, but it's like at 21, we got to get the third, fourth best offensive lineman if that happens, because shit, even some of them guys may be even taken off the board before then.
Yeah,
Let me see. I got the computer right now. I'm gonna try to look it up while you talking.
all you gotta do is look at best available projection. I mean, yeah, best available, and they'll let you know who your offensive lineman with how they see it. But I mean, look, you don't want Aaron Rodgers, man. I
No,
think
I don't.
because if he wanted to go to you all, he would. And be honest with you, bro, I think what Aaron Rodgers is doing is this, bro. If Aaron Rodgers was to say, I'm going to sign with y'all today, they know the type of organization that the Steelers are. The Steelers is. They know the kind of everybody know the pushback that they gave Aaron Rodgers about missing workouts. If he signed with the Steelers, it's going to be a whole lot of pressure on him to be at the facilities and all that, trying to, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
build a rapport with the team. And he don't want to do that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to do that. Now, I don't know. This is just me just guessing, though. So what he's going to do is stall out as long as he can, so he ain't got to deal with all that and then come back. I agree with what they've been saying. I think he really want to go to Minnesota. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where you want to go.
But that door may have closed. You think that door closed? Well, we got Calvin Banks Jr. out there. You got her. I'll get it pulled up. Can you see? Can you see it? Can you look at the screen, or are you walking around, or what?
Well, I ain't walking around,
Okay.
but I see it. Go ahead. Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So we got Will. You got Will Campbell. These are offensive tackles that's available according to PFF in the draft. Will Campbell's number one. Armand Medbu from Mizzou. Josh Simmons from Ohio State. Calvin Banks Jr. from Texas. Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. I like Gray Zabel, but he may be taken early. So
You ought to be able to get one of those top 4 offensive linemen, bro. If that's the direction they want to go. I don't know. Seems like y'all been drafting offensive linemen since
forever.
yeah, it seems like that's what y'all been doing. I ain't no big Steeler fan, so I you know what I'm saying, I ain't got it locked in, but it just seemed like y'all draft them all the time. So
All the time, man. And we not hitting. That's the thing. Like we not hitting. So Tyler Brooks. So these are the guards.
so you
Tyler Brooks
ain't
is
drafting no guard, bro. So just get off of that.
we need tackle. We need a
Gonna
tackle.
draft no. Well, I'm just saying you ain't gonna draft no guard anyway, bro. You ain't drafting that.
So tackles, right?
You'll convert a tackle to guard before you. I think y'all draft that in the first round.
Right.
He better be a heck of a guard. I think to be drafted in the first round.
Right.
But you can probably look that up and see what people projected in the first round. You see how many guards in the first round. I'm willing to bet it's less than 1, which is 0.
So at 21, I'm banking on like this kid from Minnesota. I can't pronounce his name. Aaron Tay, Eastery, 6'6", 330 pounds. He may be available for us, like, but that's it. Him, Josh. I'm hoping Josh Connolly. He's one of the best. He's 30. He's 34th in the draft ranked by PFF, so he probably won't be there. Gray Zabel he probably won't be there. Kelvin Banks and Josh Simmons and all these guys will probably be off the board by 21. I don't know because a lot of people need offensive linemen. You always need those. So yeah, but it's going to be a tough pick, and I don't know who you take. I don't know who if these guys are being available and if anybody past Aaron Tate is even worth taking in the first round. It just it's
What you gonna
crazy
get?
to me, man. This year's
Get
draft.
Hey, look at your defensive lineman. I think you got Walter Nolan too high. I wouldn't draft him that high.
You want?
And look and see what happens. Well, look at defensive tackles.
I would. Mason Graham is first. Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan.
Is what
He's
third?
23rd overall out of everybody in this year's draft. He's third best. He's the third best defensive tackle in this year's draft.
Yeah, I'm not a big Walter Nolan fan.
I mean he got what he man. You know,
I thought
I,
I
I
thought I thought most projections had him in the second round. Maybe I saw it wrong, but I thought it
well,
was projected in the second round. Which way
well,
down
you know,
there is close to the second round anyway.
right, right. I'm about to say we right there. You know what I'm saying, you know, there's only 32 teams. We right there, like 21. We the 21st overall pick. That's you can argue that's early second round, but you know that's right there. That's what I'm saying. And the position we are in the draft is crazy because if you do draft somebody like Walter Nolan, then there may be somebody that you know sees it from your point of view, and that's like, yo, y'all reaching for Walter Nolan, you know what I'm saying? But then it might be like, no, because he's right there. But you know, I don't think we've been looking at Kenneth Grant too, though. We've been looking at Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant has came to the facilities in Pittsburgh and visited with Ollie Gordon, Jackson Dart. Um, what's that little running back's name from Dylan Sampson from Tennessee? He came up to Pittsburgh and visited, and Kenneth Grant was amongst those guys in that week who went up to Pittsburgh to visit. So I don't know if Kenneth Grant will be there. If for some odd reason he slides, there's no doubt in my mind that's who we're probably going to grab up is Kenneth Grant. I think we'll take Kenneth Grant before Walter Nolan if he slides because there's already some kind of communications going on there with him being there. So yeah, no doubt. Now I don't know about edge defenders. I mean, those guys are they're gonna be going quick. Um, other than I mean, but that's who I think. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Somebody else pop up in here? No.
But yeah, I'm with you on that. I just don't. I don't know, man. I don't. I'll put it to you like this. I would rather see. Just kind of give you an idea how I look at drafting
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks. Let's take Jalen Milroe. I would rather see a team like Washington, Baltimore, like that draft. Or I mean, it could be Miami. I'd rather see a team like that draft a guy like man from Alabama. Yeah, I just said his name. What's the quarterback from Alabama?
Jalen Milroe.
Dang, bro, I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, I'd rather see them draft Jalen Milroe in a fourth round spot than a team that needs a quarterback and draft them in the second round or third round. I don't because what happens is
Mm-hmm.
since they need a quarterback, they probably already got an idea since they drafted him there anyway of how he's gonna what they think about him. So they got somebody that's playing currently. If he don't show well or he ain't doing well, they're gonna thrust that guy into that position. And if he craps the bed, then he gonna get lost in the wash, bro. They don't get it. It's done.
I hear you.
You
That
know what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
because
exactly what you're saying.
okay, so you put him. All right, for instance, let's say I hate to use your team. Let's say Pittsburgh. Let's say Pittsburgh reach and grab him in the second round. Okay, so they got Mason Rudolph. They got who else y'all got at the quarterback? Is
I
that
think
it?
that's it in the quarterback room as of right now, and that's all we got right now is Mason Rudolph in there.
So you got Mason Rudolph, and then you got another guy that they're gonna pick up. It could be anybody, right? It could be Tyrod Taylor or the Johnson dude that play for every team. You need three quarterbacks.
Right.
So they pick another guy. Mason Rudolph shits the bed. I mean, it's unfortunate. By game six or seven, they done pull Mason Rudolph and they done put in Jalen Milrow. Jalen Milrow come in and do a little couple highlights, whatever. You finish the game. You finish the season with 4 wins, which that's not what Pittsburgh does, but I'm just using them for an example.
Mm-hmm.
You win 4 games, right?
Right.
The next season. I'm sorry, the draft coming up. You got Jalen Milrow. You just drafted in the second round. You still didn't really win no games. You got a high draft pick. Arch Manning come out, or whoever else the best, one of the better quarterbacks. And let's say you got 3 really good quarterbacks that come out next year. What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do, Trucker?
You're right. You stuck.
Right. So you're gonna probably draft a quarterback. You're probably gonna draft a quarterback.
Yeah. You stuck. You stuck. You're gonna have to draft another
So
one
that
again if you don't.
right. So that second round pick that you just did, you just threw it to the wind. Because the perfect example is I don't even got to give you an example. I'll give you a team. Tennessee did that. It's doing that right now. They say Tennessee is about to draft Cam Ward, but last year they just drafted Will Levis in the second round.
Yeah.
There you go, bro.
So that's why. But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think you got to reach to get Tyler Shuck or Milrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I don't think so. And
I don't think so either. But my point is, if you draft him,
mm-hmm.
okay, Tyler Shuck, where you think he's gonna fall to? You think you're gonna be able to get him in the third? I don't think so. I think he's gonna be gone by the third round, bro.
But that's all we got as a third round. We're trying to get back into the second round as we speak right now because remember we traded our second round.
Right. So swap my example from 2 to 3. That's fine. You think you ain't gonna get him in the third round?
Probably not.
He's not gonna be there. So that's my point. So why even get any quarterback? Because if you ain't good and you draft again high, you throwing them to the wolves and you're gonna get rid of it anyway. Now, I will say a bad team, I agree, draft a quarterback like San Francisco wasn't bad, but if you can go get a Brock Purdy, the 7th round, right? If you can go find your quarterback in the 6th round, do that. I ain't wait. If I need a quarterback, I'm not drafting one unless it's the 5th round. If it ain't who I want, bro.
I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. Like if you Pittsburgh, if you us or if you the GM of us, you want to wait till the later rounds to get a quarterback to where
it got to be a throwaway pick. Yeah,
throwaway pick. Yeah,
pick. Right. If it ain't a throwaway pick, I'm not drafting a quarterback. I need a quarterback because every other position on the field, if he don't hit, he still can be a backup.
Right.
He still can be third. Third string. You can still use him. You draft a quarterback, bro. Either they
gotta play him at some point.
Well, either they gonna play or they're not, which means they're no asset to your team at all. Quarterback, that's the problem with a quarterback. Hey, you draft them, if you don't use like Atlanta. I don't care what Atlanta done. Atlanta messed up to me. I don't. Nobody can defend that and make that make sense to me. You either A, shouldn't have signed Kirk Cousins and paid him all that money, or B,
shouldn't have drafted Michael Penix.
Or draft Michael Penix. Take the money you spend on Kirk Cousins and go get you a couple of offensive lineman free agents or whatever you need to make your team better. You just it's a waste. You wasted capital with Kirk Cousins, and if he had a hit, let's say Kirk Cousins had a hit, then you wasted a first round draft pick that would have been an asset for Kirk Cousins.
See, Katie thinks. So you say I think the Titans will trade up with the Browns and still get a quality quarterback and a bunch of future picks. That possibly got, but I could probably see that happening. I like, what's your scenario, right? And I've talked about this, right? And I've said this that so if we get, let me see, I'm trying to see somebody who might be available. That probably be available 6th, 7th round for a quarterback in this year's draft. Just I don't know, just throwing out a name. I'll fucking know. Donovan Smith from Houston, right? You get him in the 6th, 7th round. We draft him in the 6th, 7th round. It's not. That's a throwaway pick on a quarterback. Now, if he develop, cool. You know what I mean. If we mess with him and he's not okay, it was a 7th round pick. I get what you're saying with that, and that makes sense. It makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I have no argument to that. You know what I'm saying? Really, because we do need the draft. We need the draft according to the team need. We do need offensive lineman help. That's a fact. We definitely need offensive line help. And we also need a running back. Letting Najee Harris go, I was already saying that we needed a running back. So with the 21st overall pick, if we don't go offensive lineman and somebody like Ashton Genty is still available, do you go there?
At the what
Or
pick?
is that a reach?
What pick you talking about?
The
Say
21st.
that again,
If you
not drafting a running back, bro, in the first round.
period,
No, I'm not doing that.
because they're so deep this year. You'll be able to get it. I think you'll be able to get a quality back in this year's draft. I think a back will be available to us in the 3rd. I think so. I think a quality back will be available to us in the 3rd round for sure. Now, some of the better ones, the ones that maybe the ones that I'm thinking about, and the ones that I want per se, probably won't be there. But I think there'd be a quality back there in the 3rd round for sure.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't believe in drafting running backs in the first round.
So that's the thing to me though. I'm not sold on a lot of these offensive linemen though, Raw. I'm just not sold on them, man. I'm just not.
And that's fine. I don't draft it. Don't draft the offensive lineman and just go get you a defensive tackle. Go get you a DB. Go get whatever you need. I mean, you know Pittsburgh better than me, so it's what y'all need.
You know,
I personally, I just don't.
DB.
So
We need DB.
Go ahead.
DB position. I think always can you tell up there. Defensive lineman. I think that's the position that is definitely looked at as grabbed up. Like I don't see how with the 21st overall pick you could pass on an edge rusher like Mike Green, even old boy from Boston College, like, or you know what I mean? I don't see how you pass on one of them guys like that, especially seeing that we don't know how these negotiations is going to go with TJ next year, because TJ Watt, he'll be a free agent after next season. So getting a Mike Green, Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant, any one of those guys off of the defensive lineman, I don't think you can go wrong with the 21st overall pick with that. For sure, with, like I said, because I only think there's a couple of quality tackles in this draft, and then after that, I think there's a huge drop off. To me. That's just to me. But I'm no professional with this. That's just me and what I think. Now, somebody else may get up and say, "Well, no, there's a guy that may fit in on the offense and be able to do what Arthur Smith offense allows him to do." But to me, I think the other guys. But yeah, defensive lineman, I don't think we can go wrong there with a Walter Nolan at all. I don't think that'll be a bad pick at 21, man. Especially being able to learn from somebody like Cam Hayward. Whoever Cam Hayward gets and pulls under his wing is going to wind up being a dog on that defensive line. But for sure, I know for sure in the 3rd, we got to go running back. At that point, with our 3rd round pick, we got to be looking at running back. And they don't even think that I think they looking at maybe more of a scat back type of running back. I think, to be honest, somebody more like Jalen Warren's type of stature and speed. I don't know if we're looking for a bigger guy, but although Ollie Gordon did go up there to visit, I don't think Ollie Gordon will probably be available for us. Um,
Yeah, let the losers pick a running back, bro, in the first round.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, bro. Hey, draft. I don't know, man. Draft
Would
running
that
back
would
in the
that
first
be
round.
would that be a reach though? I was just
Yeah,
asking a question. I wasn't saying that I wanted it to that I wanted that myself. I'm asking you, would that be a reach at 21 if you're drafting an Ashton Genty
I think it's a wasted pick.
for even for Ashton Genty?
Uh, yeah. Hey,
Okay.
let me. Hey, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
step
go
away,
ahead.
man.
Go ahead and do your thing, man. Go ahead and do your thing. Appreciate you coming up, bro.
All right, bet.
Bet. Now, that was Rawhide, y'all. Give it up for Rawhide coming in. You know what I'm saying? Blessing the show. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, dog. Now, you said why not take the defensive lineman and trade TJ before he goes free agent? Get some early future picks. I like that. I really like that, Katie. I like that. And I'm gonna drop a bomb for you because I really like that. I like that idea because see what happens if we do that, right? Now we're gonna get more capital, but we're also probably gonna want to move up if we trade TJ. If you trade somebody like TJ, you're gonna want to move up. What do we get back in return for that for TJ? Because and where do we move up at? So I think stand put, maybe trading him, right? And getting after somebody, another, defensive lineman, I think would be good, right? I think so too. And then getting some future picks, maybe a couple extra picks this year, or maybe even for next year, I think would be a good decision. I do agree with what Rawhide just said about the quarterback and reaching, but I don't really think, like I was trying to explain too. Also, I don't think that we reaching. You would have to reach for a guy like Milroe or Shaw. I don't think so. I just don't think so. Um, I think, but to me, who knows? To a lot of people out there, we all think differently, and that's why having people come up and call in and talk and get different perspectives on things, and us having conversations on panels and stuff like that is good, because we all think differently, and sometimes having a melting pot of ideas, you'll leave that with a different perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm hugely biased, and sometimes getting a non-biased opinion about the team is also good for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I like that. And without a doubt, I don't think that you can pass on. We're in such a tough spot in the draft at number 21. That is, you have to realistically, you have to look at that being as like our early second round, because as a wise man once told me, shout out to Bishop, this is chess, not checkers. The NFL draft is chess. So even if a team will probably, I'm going to take him because this other team can use him. And if this other team gets this weapon, that takes their offense or their defense or whatever overboard. So let me take this player, because without a doubt, he still is a franchise player. Now, did I explain that well enough, or do I need to say that again? Because like what I'm saying is like, it's a game. This is a game too sometimes, especially for these see, this is GM, owners, coaching. This is where they get to have fun at. Like, yeah, yeah. I know Harbaugh. I know you looking at Genty, but guess what? I'm gonna take him. Oh yeah. I know Pittsburgh want Will Campbell. We ain't even looking at Will Campbell, but I'm gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's in your own division. I've seen the Ravens draft players that we've wanted, and vice versa. I've seen it happen with the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. We've all seen it. You just have to pay attention to it. And maybe you don't do it because your favorite team, but we've all seen how the draft is a game of picking players. Like you would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You would do the same exact thing. Um, if you're playing any kind of game, right, and you know the person needs a card or something, you know what I mean, or whatever they need it, I'm gonna take it from them. You know, you when you playing Uno, you hold on to your draw four or your skip. You try to hold on to them till later in the game or something, right? You know what I'm saying? But if the person after you is just called Uno the round before, and you got to draw four, that the strategy is to throw that motherfucker down so you can pick up four more. You ain't going nowhere. You stuck around. I'm sticking you. So if I could take a player away from another team, that sets them behind in that position. Now they may be having to wait, or they got to get somebody to develop, which takes a year or two. So that puts them behind a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the best example, but y'all get where I'm going with that, right? That's how this plays out also. So, you know, this is a very tricky thing, and it's very fun talking about the NFL draft too, because that's the excitement that it brings you. Like, okay, what move are they going to make? And we're right there at that point where you're going to get scrutinized for picks, or people may not all agree with the same picks that you're making and that position. Like Rob thinks that taking an Ashton Genty in the first round, any running back in the first round is a waste. But I don't think you can miss on an Ashton. Like you can ask Ashton Genty. We talking about the running back that has broken Barry Sanders' record, or damn near. I mean, you know what I mean? No other running back has ever been able to do that for a very long time. We are talking about the running back that had the damn skill, you know, to almost break the late great Barry Sanders record, to get the closest ever. And and we need a back. But does it put us behind the other positions? It absolutely does. Because now we got to go and grab different positions. You know what I'm saying? So you take the best running back, you don't get the best offensive lineman. You know what I mean? That's just how, and that's how the draft works. That's just how it works. You know, you got to get guys to develop. And sometimes you may get a guy in the 6th round who comes in prepared and ready to play and you know, study well, very smart. You get these guys now, and that's how this draft is. Though the draft is, if you draft well, all your positions can be productive if you draft well. We have seen it done. We've seen it done in the past couple of years, but we have seen it done with teams doing that. I mean, the latest example, and everybody's been using it, is the Redskins. We've seen the Redskins do that. We've seen the Commanders do that last year, and they had a great draft. And that can happen for a lot of teams, man. That you can do that because the regimen that these athletes are on is different than what it used to be. Now, just because I don't see an offensive lineman that may be able to come in, like if you're asking me, like I think Gray Zabel, I'll take Gray Zabel over a lot of them. And here's my reason why I may take Gray Zabel, offensive tackle from North Dakota State, over a lot of other tackles. He comes from North Dakota State. That's a huge reason why right there, because that's all they do is develop. These guys ain't there getting the biggest bag, or I don't know of, because when you talk about North Dakota and South Dakota State, you know, college sports is probably everything that they have. So maybe they are getting a decent type of bag up there, but they're developing too. Their coaching staff does not change year to year. These are guys who have been in a system and have been prepared pro-wise to make to make the next jump. So And without a doubt, he has that athletic ability at the tackle position. So yes, when you're looking at an offensive tackle, I like Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. We already got a South Dakota State guy on the roster. So yes, that's one of the guys. But at 21, Mike Green available for Marshall. You might have a Walter Nolan available. You got to go with one of those guys. James Pierce. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, like, I don't think you can miss with one of those guys. But because we have the offensive lineman there now, it's just a time. Are these guys ready to step up? Or these guys that we have drafted in these past couple years ready to step up? Now we went defensive linemen also, but our defensive linemen have played somewhat. And we've seen Liel. Where did we get Liel from? Was he from Mississippi State or I can't remember, Texas A&M? One of them damn Burgundy schools. I can't remember which one it was. So many players, so much time, but I can't remember. But I know he came from down there, and he was productive. We seen him hit the field a couple times, number 98, and made a couple decent plays. However, speed was one of his things, and we knew that wasn't there. So we're definitely going to need an elite pass rusher. Like I said, with TJ's Watt being last year, his deal being on his last year, we're going to need that. So I think we gotta look at that and prepare for that. Because you don't want to be behind the ball. Now, I don't think he wants to go anywhere but Pittsburgh, but I do think that he wants to win. And he's going to be looking for a very big contract. And he does deserve it without a doubt. So maybe they already should have been talking about contract extensions and extending his contract from the jump already right now. Because his production on our defense is going to be very hard to replace. Very hard. You know what I'm saying? So that's be his thing. But trading him, I still wouldn't be, upset with that if we're gonna draft one of these elite pass rushers such as Mike Green. I even like Antoine Parola. I like him. He really did something. And the guy from Boston College, these guys all led. And speaking about the draft, like I haven't seen Sean Dulac. I don't know if he's going back from Buffalo. He led in tackles. I think he was already a red shirt senior just last year. But with the new rules in college football, I think you can get like 8-9 years, something like that, something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if he's coming out or not, but that is exactly the type of player that you want. Like, you don't lead the NCAA in tackling as a linebacker. Now, granted, he's in the MAC, but he got something that just a lot of players don't possess, and that's the vision to play. He has to be, his run fit has to be the shit. Looking at, being able to fill them gaps and to know what the running back's doing. Had a couple of picks, couple of batted passes. He just knows what the heck he's doing. He just knows what the hell he's doing. And I have not heard nobody talking about Sean Dulac from Buffalo out of the MAC. Nobody. A linebacker. Now, I don't care how fast he is. I do not care. He is a problem because there is a bunch of guys that's coming that's in the MAC. Khalil Mack came from the MAC. He came from Buffalo. So I don't care where you play at on a college level. If you're producing at a high level like that, you are ready to play on the professional level. And when you hit and tackling somebody, when you making 150 plus tackles in one season, that is a lot. A whole lot. KMS, what up? I ain't seen you in a minute, fam. Peace, man. I don't know if you out. You saying peace because you out of here, but peace or just peace because you come in or what up. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. But that's a lot. Like nobody's really, nobody's talking about this guy, man. Now I got to do my research on it to really figure out. But the last time I looked at it, I don't know if he went in as a let me see, man, because I'm tired of looking at it and guessing and whatnot. But somebody got to be talking about this Sean Dulac guy, man, because he's a problem, dog. He is a problem. Like, I'm really trying to figure it out, y'all, because it don't make no sense that nobody's really talking about this cat, man. Like, where is he playing or is he not playing? Is he okay? So he came back, so he is playing. He's a grad student and he is playing. He will be playing for Buffalo. That's why nobody's talking about Sean Dulac. So he'll probably be a top pick next year. But there's no way. I don't even know why. Like, why in the hell did he even come out this year? He's a grad student. Maybe Buffalo probably threw a bag at him, but I don't know because they already talking about him being a third round pick. But from what I'm researching right now and then looking at right now, he's supposed to be. He's a grad student, but he's not looked at as being a pick. You know what I mean? He's already looked at as being a third, fourth rounder right now, but it's looking like he's not drafted, like, because he's definitely playing. So that's why nobody's talking about him. That makes all the sense in the world to me right now. I know I sound crazy, but that makes all the sense. That's why nobody's really talking about Sean Dulac leading the NCAA, because most definitely they would be. You know what I mean? But I probably would have came out this year if I was him. But look for him to be wrecking shop. But I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of these my quick looks. I'm trying to do them on all the conferences, the major 8, if you will. If you know what that is, even the Sun Belt and the MAC and all of that. And I do the quick looks, y'all, real quick, just to explain, and now you get back in the sport. I do the quick looks to try to keep y'all informed on the teams, the moves they made in the off season, some of the players that might be starting, leaving, and a quick look at their schedule. So after I talk about that in their pre-recorded videos, and you get them throughout the week. If you're a member, you get them all at the same time. If you're a member to the channel, you get every last quick look. Is when I upload them, you get them right away. But I think I'm gonna have to switch that because of the algorithm. They said that I have to make them I have to keep them private first and then drop them as they go. So keeping them or something for the algorithm. I can't remember what YouTube sent me the letter or whatever it was, telling me that it helps out with the algorithm and views and whatnot, because people like them. People like the quick looks. You know what I mean? And I wish everybody hits the like button when they're watching them. But anyhow, it's just a quick information and to look at the schedule and it kind of fill out what's going on with that conference and other teams and their schedules and what it's looking like. And I do it for all of college football because, like, I believe that there is some teams that may be MAC team. You're always going to get a MAC team or a Mountain West team that's going to take out one of these teams in a Power 5 or a Power 4, it will, because essentially the Pac-12 now is nothing more than a group of 5 conference now. That's just what it is. Like, to be honest, that's just what the Pac-12 will be now. It wants to be one of the Power 5s, but it has to earn that right to be back there, because right now it's made up of all group of 5s besides Wazoo and Oregon State. That's it. But even those schools have moved down to group of 5 by being in the Pac-12. But yeah, man, the draft, it's exciting. And we got a whole lot to look forward to with that. But, right now, I guess it's March Madness right now. And looking at that, man, you said check out Truck and Rappaport. Jackson Dart put on a show at Ole Miss Pro Day workout. I didn't. You said Jackson Dart put on a show at Ole Miss Pro Day workout. I'm not surprised at Jackson Dart at all. His stock, he has the size. What is he like? I think Jackson Dart is standing like at 6'3". Y'all correct me when I'm wrong out there now in the comments. Don't feel shy to get down in the comments and let me have it, or to inform me on something that may be going on. Because I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised at all that Jackson Dart is putting on a show. I'm not surprised at that at all because Jackson Dart has every last trait for a professional quarterback that guys want and that teams look for. He has it all, including the size. Jackson and then the crazy thing to me is that there's a few crazy things, right? And I'm gonna get it out. He played in the SEC, and there is an ACC and a Big 12 quarterback that may go before him. Now, look, I'm not saying. Now, listen, I didn't say not one name. I didn't say anything else. A SEC quarterback is looked at as being the third best behind a ACC quarterback and a Big 12 quarterback. Okay, that's what this year is looking like, right? And I think is that the reason why some professionals out there and people are saying that this year's draft is bad? Why? Because a Big 12 quarterback is looked at as being the best. Why? Because an ACC quarterback is looked at as being the best in the draft. So this year's draft isn't what? Last I checked, Trevor Lawrence came from Clemson, right? Deshaun Watson came from Clemson, right? They're both in the ACC. I'm just saying, I don't know where they're getting that from. But then to get even more in depth and even more crazier with this, and we granted these quarterbacks didn't have, well, I can't really say Riley Leonard with Notre Dame didn't have a lot to do with Notre Dame being there because he definitely did. And Riley Leonard was in the national goddamn championship as a quarterback, and he ain't looked at as being a first round pick. What are we doing? Will Howard, another quarterback who played in the national championship. Granted, his team was stacked. They ran the ball a lot, but he's still not looked at as being a first round pick in this year's draft. The two quarterbacks who played in the national championship will not be is looked at as being a top pick in the draft. You probably could get these guys in the third round. You get a third round quarterback who's been in the national championship. Riley Leonard ran his ass off. He ran his ass off for Notre Dame. You hear me? That boy was putting on them skates. He made the throws. Will Howard, his athletic ability is there. His size is there. Will Howard stands 6'5", 230 something. What? What are we talking about? What is going on? What is going on out here, y'all? I don't know. I mean, it's not like somebody else never said this or it never came up. But this is what I'm saying. Like that like, just think about that. Let's think about that real quick. Let's just really let that resonate. Let that sit with y'all. That's what we're looking at this year is these guys are not coming out first. Now, I'll probably get some pushback and everything once I, cut the video up and, put the shorts out and everything. And people get the comment and then they say, well, the Big 12 quarterback is Shedeur Sanders. So what you talking about? I didn't say nothing bad about Shedeur Sanders. What I'm simply saying is that we're looking at a Big 12 quarterback with no Oklahoma and Texas in the Big 12. One of the best in this year's draft. And a horrible ACC. The ACC was bad. Bad. Very bad. Let's just call it what it is. For not, if not for Miami and SMU, ACC was horrible. And by the way, bowl games, I like bowl games. I do because it get like I like looking at the underclassmen play. And it prepares me to look into things like when I do these quick looks, it helps me with explaining to y'all with some of these guys, because some of these underclassmen that get to step up, a lot of people don't know what it is. But when I watch them perform in a bowl game, at least I got some kind of film to look at these players and maybe what they may be able to do. So I do like the bowl games for that simple fact is to look at these underclassmen perform.
You know what I mean? Because they will be starting at some point, or maybe they should have been starting based on what they were able to do on the field. I do like that. But so yeah, I do like looking at that and seeing those things. And it helps me with future things. But that is it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy this year. It's gonna be a wild ride. Got the NCAA tournament popping off. I don't know who y'all got winning on the men's side, but I got Houston winning on the men's side. That they to finish my bracket. Um, don't know if they're gonna be able to pull it off because I tell you what, Florida is looking crazy. But I will say the SEC has taken over in men's basketball. It's crazy to me. I don't know who y'all got on the women's side right now. My team Notre Dame has already been knocked out on the women's side. That kind of pisses me off a lot. Now you say he played much better competition. KMS said that. I'm sorry, KMS, to get to you. Yeah, he did. You said, wouldn't they have better completion percentage if they held the ball or not throwing it away? They probably would. They probably would. They probably would have that night. No, it's not a probably. They would have a better completion percentage if they held the ball or didn't throw the ball away. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy to think that these guys are not, because every year in college football, you've always looked at the best quarterbacks being in a national championship. That has not happened this year. That has not happened at all. Like, these guys have not even been remotely even talked about as being a first round pick or, second round or whatever. But I still think you're going to get some good quarterbacks. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if people are, is there a slight hate when they say the quarterback class is bad because of this or what? But I don't really see that. I don't know. Four of these guys got a hit. That's all I do know. Four of these guys got a hit, and 40, and I think it would be four. I think it will be four. Nobody knew who Ben Roethlisberger was when he came out of Miami of Ohio. Nobody knew who the hell Ben Roethlisberger was. They was looking at him. They was like, who the hell is Ben Roethlisberger? I couldn't even pronounce his last name when I first seen him. Like, who the hell? Miami of where? There's a Miami in Ohio. Where at? Like, where at? Ohio? What? And then you know what I'm saying? And he come in the NFL and he lit it up. Lit it up. Rookie season took us to the AFC Championship. Bounce back next year, get a Super Bowl. In his second year in the league out of Miami of Ohio. So there's definitely talent out there. You just got to know how to evaluate it. But the one thing that Big Ben had that didn't know other quarterbacks had was his toughness and his size. He didn't have super athletic ability. He was athletic enough before the motorcycle accident, but he was big as shit. He had the size. He was way bigger than a lot of guys. And I think that's when you get to looking at size and guys who can spin it with size. There's some guys out there that you'll be able to get in the late rounds with a throwaway pick. I brought up one earlier. I know he's not a huge favorite because of his the interceptions that he threw, but he at one point in time and a couple seasons ago, and I can't remember if it was last season also, but his completion percentage was always one of the best in the Big 12 ever. Donovan Smith from Houston. I don't know if he's listed at 6'6" or 6'7", but he's athletic. He definitely could scoot. He damn sure could spin the ball. And I just think that he suffered from not having his decision making, man. He was just so gun-ho. He was just so gun-ho, man. Like he's slanging that thing like he don't care. He just didn't care. And I think that I know for sure that's bit him in his college career. The fact that he wasn't scared to throw into coverage or try to throw into those windows and the throws he was trying to make. But, that's hurt him in the long run. But that's one of those guys out there who definitely has the prototypical size what the NFL looks for in a quarterback, and the throwing ability is definitely there. So, I mean, don't be surprised if he ends up on somebody's roster as a backup And you know, years down the road, we hear Donovan Smith's name, like, damn, where the hell he came? Oh, Houston, you know, and he's doing this thing out there, you know, maybe not being one of the best in the NFL, but definitely a serviceable quarterback in the NFL. You know what I mean? Um, Couple of guys out there like that. I think Curtis Rourke might be a serviceable guy in the NFL. I'm not saying that Curtis Rourke is going to go and be an elite quarterback in the NFL, but do I think Curtis Rourke would be a serviceable quarterback in the NFL? Absolutely, because he was able to go into a whole brand new system at Indiana after he left Ohio, and the way things he was doing up at Ohio, to be able to change his whole gameplay. If you look at Curtis Rourke at Ohio, and the way he played up there before he went to Indiana with Curt Cignetti, he ran a lot. He used his athletic ability. He used his size a lot when the play wasn't there. But you look at him at Indiana, Curt Cignetti made him read the field more, make better decisions, not run as much, not rely on your body as much. And you seen that, and he was able to do that. So that lets you know that he's a very coachable, and he develop skills in 1 year. So I mean, there's guys out there that can be serviceable guys in the NFL, and that's what you need on some of these teams. Some of these teams don't need a hero to come save the day. You need a guy who's going to come in there and be a game manager at the quarterback position, because that's essentially what you are. You know what I mean? Like, some guys want to be the hero, but you need a game manager. And being a game manager is not a bad term. It's only a bad term to a casual football fan. A casual football fan who does not, that is the game manager. People like, stop saying that is not a bad term. That's exactly what you want out of your quarterback. You asked any coach, anybody that's coached on a college level, any type of level, you want a quarterback who can manage your offense. A manager makes the best decisions for their employees or for their team. I'm not okay. I can force feed, the best receiver on the team, or I could take this check down and maybe hit a home run with it, but at least get 5 yards and move the ball and move the chains and stay in plus territory. You know what I mean? Maybe I could check out of this pass and check into a run. You want a guy who can manage the game, who knows how to read the defense, knows his offense, knows how to manage the game. That's exactly what you want. That is not a bad term. I don't even know why it is a bad term. Because you could be a game changer at quarterback, because you have game changing speed, such as a Lamar Jackson, or because Josh Allen can change the game and with the offense because of his size and what he can do with the ball in his hands, or Patrick Mahomes, magician with the ball in his hands. Some people can be game changers at the quarterback position, but essentially, great quarterbacks have always been great game managers. They have always been. You look at the history of the NFL, and the great quarterbacks who have been successful and have won Super Bowls have absolutely always been the best at managing the game of football. Always. Peyton Manning, always. Eli, he was a good game manager. Whether you want to say it or not, whether you like the dislikes or the likes, Big Ben Roethlisberger managed the offense perfectly. I mean, he come out of a check, throw it to AB, and AB take it to the house. A simple slant. Here go, AB was good for that. Him and Ben was great at doing that. Who else was good at doing that? I think Carson Palmer was good at doing that. I think he was okay with managing the game. And that's, but y'all get where I'm going with this. There's a lot. Kurt Warner, the best, one of the best that I think is underrated, by the way. If we're talking game manager, it's not a bad term once again. But yes, Kurt Warner, like, great at doing that. The greatest show on turf he ran. But that was part of managing the game and doing what he did, especially when you had a Brian Urlacher. When you looking at Brian Urlacher and where he set up on that defense, or Ray Lewis, you got to be able to manage the defense, manage the game. You got to be. You know what I mean? That's all, and that's you know what I'm saying. That's where I'm just getting at with that. That's and I really wanted to stress on that that's not a bad thing to manage the game, because that's exactly what you want, and that is an ability. Believe it or not, even if people want to look at that as being a bad term, that's a lot of ability that a lot of guys don't have, and why the quarterback play looks the way it looks, because some guys panic, they run, slide, where they can't make the throw because it just totally breaks down. But managing the game is great. That's a great attribute to have. Now, you can have all the arm talent in the world, but can you read the defense? Can you manage this offense? Can you check into the right call that I need you to go into if they're running, if they got 4 quarters? If you know what I mean, if they got cover 2, if they cover 1, can you recognize the cover 0? Can you throw into this? You know what I mean? Can if they're going to umbrella coverage this guy, can you know what I mean? Can you check it? What are they showing you? Yeah, they may be showing 0 blitz, but then they could be dropping into a cover 2. Can you you know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to manage these things. Where these guys are going to be. That's why quarterback is a very tough position to play. Very tough. But if they know what they're doing and they can manage the game, they will light you the hell up. And that's what makes Tom Brady so damn good. That's what made Tom Brady so good, because he knew how to manage the hell out of his offense. He knew where every guy was going to be. He knew how to make the checks. He knew how to make the calls. And you look around at auto greats, Troy Aikman, another one. Like, come on, man. These guys, they had just more than arm talent. So once again, and I would have to agree with that too, Katie. Like, Kyle McCord, and that's why, and people, he is a great game manager. He is a great game manager. And whether or not you look at that Pitt game, Pitt did the best at confusing Kyle McCord. That's why Kyle McCord, and I think it was like two or maybe 2, was it 2 or 3 of those interceptions, Katie, that Kyle McCord, they got tipped. It was like a fucking play, like, oh my God, how did that happen? He just had a bad day that day versus Pitt. It was just a horrible day, right? But he is a good game manager. He knew what to do. He knew where those receivers were going to be at Syracuse. I don't know. I don't think Fran Brown and that staff up there at Syracuse has taken enough credit in of what they were able to do with Kyle McCord. Like, Ohio didn't have the patience. That's why I know Will Howard is a lot better than what people think. They didn't have the patience what Kyle McCord did that Fran Brown and the staff up at Syracuse had. But he is a good game manager. And you've seen that on display last season. He is. He knows where the defense is at. You know the cause is, and believe it or not, that's why I knew Bo Nix was going to be good. That's why Sean Payton is going to make Bo Nix one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL upcoming. Yes, he is one of the future best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I said it last year. I don't think he'll have a sophomore slump. The reason being is because he's going to get more weapons and he knows how to read a defense. He understands coverages. He understands where his players are on the field or where they're supposed to be on the field. You know how I knew that with Bo Nix and why he would be good in the NFL? Because believe it or not, you think it's a show off, and maybe it is flexing a little bit when you throw a no-look pass in the game for a touchdown. But when you're able to do that, that's because you understand what the defense is doing, what they're giving you, and where your player is supposed to be. That's why you're able to do that. But other than that, man, I think, look, I enjoyed my time today with y'all, man. Hell of a show, man, because y'all are the greatest audience. Y'all stay tuned in. I hope that y'all hit the like button, all the support that I get up out there. I appreciate y'all, man, because y'all could be doing a lot this Saturday besides spending some time with me. But I do appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all next Saturday. If anything changes, I'll leave y'all a post. So make sure that y'all checking y'all posts and got y'all notification bell on so that you're getting updates on when I will be going live. It'll be once a week. Like I said, if you become a member, then you'll get all the quick looks as they come out. If not, that's cool too, because they you know what I mean, they keep you fed throughout the week. I'm doing the Big Ten this week. The Big Ten will be on. So we'll get a quick look at all the Big Ten teams and their schedules. So y'all be on the lookout for those. So make sure you got that notification bell set. If you don't got your notification bell set it right now so that you know when I'm dropping videos, so that you're able to watch them. And because we get some conversation started in the comments sometimes, you know what I'm saying? On them quick looks, because I find out things too when I research and I'm looking it up too. So get my research on and being informative for my people, man. I appreciate y'all out there, but y'all know how I've been giving it up lately and continue to do so. You know, don't pray for somebody's downfall, pray for the uplift. But when y'all keep praying for me, I'm gonna pray for y'all. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.